It has been a wild couple of days for actor-director Timothy Busfield as he was wanted by Albuquerque, New Mexico police when they issued a warrant for his arrest on January 9th amid some really disturbing child abuse charges. 2 counts of child abuse and 1 count of child abuse. And he seemingly was missing or on the run until today, which is Tuesday. I record this podcast one day in advance. So I am telling you right now that Timothy Busfield has surrendered to Albuquerque, New Mexico police amid an announcement on Monday that the U.S. Marshal Service was assisting in searching for his whereabouts. Now, he posted a video on Tuesday afternoon announcing that he turned himself in. And the reason that he turned himself in now was because he found out on Friday he had to obtain a lawyer. And then on Saturday, he drove 2,000 miles to Albuquerque. And I'm assuming he means he drove from New York, because I have a pool photographer friend who also works just paparazzi sometimes as well. And he was staking out at Timothy Busfield and his wife, Melissa Gilbert, their Upper West Side apartment in Manhattan all weekend and saw no sign of them. Additionally, they have a house in the Catskills, which is like 5 hours away from New York City. Another photographer friend of mine was there as well. And he said, yep, no sign of him. So let me play this video for you all first, and then I'm going to break down what I know. And also, if you want to go through the criminal complaint line by line, you can go to lamag.com for my coverage, or you can go to the live stream video I did yesterday going through it orally, verbally with everybody and discussing it. But first, let's play this video. It is also, I mean, he says a couple things that I find really strange, but I'll talk about it after.
Hi, everybody. It's Tim. I'm sure most of you know that are watching this that I was ordered to come to Albuquerque. I'm here now. I got the call Friday night. I had to get a lawyer. Saturday, I got in a car and drove 2,000 miles to Albuquerque. I'm going to confront these lies. They're horrible. They're all lies. And I did not do anything to those little boys. And I'm going to fight it. I'm going to fight it with a great team. And I'm going to be exonerated. I know I am, because this is all so wrong and all lies. So hang in there, and hopefully I'm out real soon, and back to work. And I love everybody for supporting me. Thank you.
All right. So really quick, I thought it was kind of strange that he told us to hang in there. He's like, hang in there, everybody. I'm like, we will. Also, let me just say this. He was making a video on the fly. He's obviously under a lot of stress. So sometimes you just say things that come out. I should know. It happens to me sometimes as well. So it could be that. But also, you know, I kind of thought it was interesting that he thanked his supporters, because I feel like I am all over the internet and I actually haven't really seen any support. I for sure have not seen any support from any of his colleagues who are actors. And of course, in the criminal complaint, you do have several makeup artists saying that he's very creepy and, quote, everybody knows to stay away. Now, just detailing the criminal complaint, just very top level, if you're not familiar. 2 little boys on the set of the Fox show The Cleaning Lady accused Busfield of touching them very inappropriately, their groin, their butt, basically grooming them, tickling them. But the main thing was they said that they were alone with him, one child more than the other, when they were about 7 and 8 years old on the set of the show. And that Timothy Busfield, when they were alone in these brief moments, he would rub and do all that stuff. And one of the boys, it was stated, just became very withdrawn, just not the same kid that he was when he first arrived on set, which also, I'm not a doctor, but that is just seemingly a symptom of being abused or groomed. When a kid starts to act out, they shut down. And again, you can read the complaint for yourself. lamag.com, search Timothy Busfield for my articles, and I embed the complaint within the article. Well, you know what? I'll put it in the link for you to make things easier. So, one thing I want to say, Timothy Busfield denying all of these allegations, I think he might have a defense. So, when investigators called him, he said, there's an actor on the set. She's the lead actor. Her name is Elodie Young. She overheard the boy's mom say that she basically was going to get her revenge on Timothy Busfield because the boys did not get their contract re-upped when Timothy was the director of the show. They were not invited back for the next season. They were subsequently replaced, and the mother was not happy about it. So Timothy said this lead actor, she knew all about this. She heard about this. So investigators call her and she says, sure, I'll talk to you. And then when it came down to it, and the day of the meeting they were supposed to have, she sent them an email saying, sorry, I have no interest in talking to you after all. Now, with all that being said, that doesn't mean that, this was never said by the mom. I wasn't there. And also, I'm assuming that Timothy Busfield is going to eventually get indicted. And when this goes to trial, they will subpoena her, or the defense will subpoena her as a witness. So that most definitely is going to be his defense, I would say. But I found it really strange that when investigators spoke to him and his wife, Melissa Gilbert, who was also a child actor, she's best known for her role on Little House on the Prairie, she actually said that they got close with these boys. They hung out with their family offset. She said they bought Christmas presents for them. And that to me is it's strange. It does seem like they were trying to make these boys comfortable and, whatever. But I really don't want to speculate too much because I don't know all the details, and everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Although I think a lot of people seemingly believe these charges against Busfield because of his past. He was accused, I think it was 1994 or 1995, on the set of the movie Little Big League, of basically assaulting and groping a 17-year-old girl who was an extra on set. She was a minor. She sued him. They were able to settle outside of court, but then he countersued her for defamation. And this lawsuit was subsequently thrown out, and Timothy Busfield was on the hook for all sorts of legal bills after this. But yeah, I mean, it's not the first time he's been accused of touching a minor. And then additionally, in 2011 or 2012, he was accused of groping a 28-year-old woman at the movies, but prosecutors had very, quote, slim evidence, so they could not bring charges forth. So, when people hear about him and then he all of a sudden is missing, I think everybody's like, well, I kind of believe this based on the past. And also, what took you so long to surrender? I mean, you saw the reports that the U.S. Marshal Service was assisting Albuquerque, New Mexico police in looking for you. Why wouldn't you call the department and be like, or have your lawyer call and be like, hey, you don't need to do that. We're on the way. I did reach out to the Albuquerque, New Mexico police, Gilbert Gallegos. I asked a couple questions about the case, and he told me he has no further comment. He just said, read the criminal complaint. And then when I had asked him about Timothy Busfield surrendering, he said, and again, this was at 3:38 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, he said, Timothy Busfield has turned himself in at the Metro Detention Center. He will be booked on his warrant. So I have been refreshing this jail site to see his mugshot and everything. It hasn't been posted yet, but I'm assuming by the time you see this video, it will be posted. And look, he's obviously going to be able to post bail. So, he'll post bail, I'm assuming. And then I'm also assuming this case will most likely get kicked over to a grand jury for an official indictment. His wife, Melissa Gilbert, amid all of this, she deleted her Instagram a few I think it was maybe a month ago or so, she kind of went on Instagram and went off on Megyn Kelly for making statements about Jeffrey Epstein. Megyn Kelly said something along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing, Jeffrey Epstein liked 15-year-olds, not 5-year-olds. So he doesn't really like little kids. And Melissa Gilbert was like, you need to watch your words. And then Megyn Kelly went online on Monday and she made a video and she's like, oh yeah, shame on you. You knew what your husband was. All of these accusations. So I will be following this case very, very closely. I will update you guys here on the YouTube, Los Angeles Magazine videos, as well as lamag.com. This is a weird one. Like I said, I'm going to be following it closely. Thanks everybody for watching and listening. And again, like and subscribe if you don't already to get these alerts. I'm Lauren Conley.